And we're back with the Jesse LaSala Show, episode 49, I believe. I took like a 6 month break, and you know what? It felt great because there were no sports that I really cared about. The Packers were done. It broke my heart. The Pacers were tanking, which will be good in the long run. But I'm back. I'm gearing up for NFL football. I'm watching a little bit of this NBA Finals for money purposes only. And I'm joined by my uncle, the great Johnny Ace. John Ace, how say you?
I say, what's up, nephew? Good to hear from you. Good to talk to you. Good to be on the Jesse LaSala show. A lot of people dream of this moment, you know?
Yeah, I think this is a formerly of the Two Up and Two Up fame, I would say. You know, we had so many followers, dedicated listeners, and then as all good things, it came to an end. But it's nice to be able to reconnect, and more importantly, it gives me an opportunity to chastise your ass for putting my life savings into Bitcoin.
Well, I always start everything with, don't do what I do because I'm wrong 100% of the time. This is not investment advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Never invest anything that you can't afford to lose. And having said all that, we are in the heart of a good old-fashioned hardcore crypto winter.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
that's
okay.
where it's at.
So, okay. This billionaire, Michael Saylor, are you familiar with this man?
Yep.
So he, I don't know, apparently he spent around 4 billion on Bitcoin, and now it's down to about maybe, I don't know. He lost about 1 billion on this whole thing, but he says everything's going to be just fine. So if a billionaire
He's
and
right.
you are saying it, I trust it. In fact, I bought $9 worth today just to fuck the man.
I bought some Ethereum today.
Yep, that's the one I stick to.
Yeah, so you know, the thing is, we had a discussion one time about, well, I'm trying to think of what's the best angle to talk about this because I mean, we could talk Bitcoin all night, you know.
Right.
There's so many interesting aspects of it. Um, but you know, what Bitcoin's doing now, it's done over and over. You know, Bitcoin goes in cycles, Um, Bitcoin wasn't really on anybody's radar until the end of 2017 when it went, I think it went like 20x at that time. It went from like $1,000 a coin to $20,000 a coin in the space of like a few months, basically. Um, and some people made a whole lot of money, but most people lost money actually because they bought on the way up. And so it wasn't long after they bought it that it turned around and went screaming down faster than it even went up. And so just overnight, a lot of people who bought in late found themselves in the red already. And then some sold pretty quick and lost a little money. Some held on for a little while, lost a lot of money. Some some held and held and held and held, and at the end of the day, a couple months later, it was down 90% from the 20,000.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or maybe 85%. I think it got down to like 3,000 eventually, some months later. So, uh, you know, and so a lot of people just, man, you know what right now is like Bitcoin is crashing sort of as we speak, although it looks like it's kind of trying to find a bottom now. But what a crash is basically a huge shakeout where you're shaking out all the sellers, you know, um, whether it's Wall Street, you know, I mean, Wall Street is it's kind of like just a bunch of day traders these days. Um, I mean, the entire stock market is kind of becoming like almost like a meme stock market. Um, and so, you know, that's what happens in bear markets is you shake out all the sellers until you get down to just a few people that hold this, you know, hold these assets and are just not going to let go, you know. And you know, once you get down to just those people that believe in the assets, then there's your bottom, you know, and then, you know, there's nowhere but up from there. But you know, something for anyone, feel free to give me some direction here to talk about it, because I mean, there's so much to talk about. But
Well,
what I
okay. Here's my first question for the dummies like me out there. When will this currency be able to be used at a fucking gas station? You know, like when am I gonna be
never,
able to?
never, never,
Okay, so
and
this
that's
is
the wrong way to
purely
look at it. Is a currency.
okay.
Now it is a currency. It can behave like a currency. It can be used as a currency in certain instances, like if a business accepts it, you know. But I don't use it like a currency, and I'll never use it like a currency. What You know, some crypto will be used as a future currency. It'll probably be a digital dollar, a US dollar, but just in digital coin form,
Right.
you know? Um, so,
How do you
so
feel
yes,
about
it is sort of a currency, but more so, it's a store of value, kind of like gold or silver or something you buy to just park your money in that so that it doesn't depreciate like the US dollar does.
right, which is currently crumbling and we're printing up money that we don't even have. Like
Right.
how many billions of dollars are we in debt, the United States?
So I don't know. It's trillions now, man.
Oh, Jesus.
So I don't know. It's 30 trillion maybe at this
God.
point. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, you're familiar with Motel 6, right?
Oh yeah, we'll keep the light on for you. Is that the one?
I think you're right. I think you're right. Okay, so Motel 6, you know, when it was founded in, so I don't know, like 1950 something, the room was $6.
Mm.
That's why they called it Motel 6. Well, now, I mean, you're not even going to get a decent roach infested, like stinky ass, like cheap ass hotel room for less than, I mean, what, 50, 60?
I would say like yeah, like
You
50
know what
is
I'm
the
saying?
bare minimum.
Yeah. I mean, for 60, maybe you'll get like a molded swimming pool.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So so the dollar has always been, I mean, of course, we've always had inflation, you know, and inflation just means that your dollar is the purchasing power is just going down, down, down. And it's always happening. It's always present. I mean, it's all the prices go up all the time, you know, like at a rate of, I don't know, 2%, 3% a year or whatever. The official government, you know, count, the CPI, they call it, Consumer Price Index, they say it's at like 2% or whatever usually, and that's their goal, is to keep it at 2%. But that's the fake government calculation that they come up with that doesn't include energy and food prices. So two of the things we spend the most money on. So, and they say that they don't include those because they're too volatile, which is complete bullshit. I mean, first of all, they're not that volatile, and but second of all, more importantly, they don't want us to know what the real inflation is. So they come up with this bullshit number that pretty much sticks around 2%, So even if you take the government at their word, and inflation has been most of the time around 2%, well, now it's 8%, even by the government's bullshit calculations. So it's really 10 or 12. I mean, we don't know what it is actually, but it's more than 8% at this point. So your dollar has always been losing value. Now it's just like immediately noticeable. Like even for our society that can't get our fucking heads out of our cell phone, distracted with all kinds of distractions, like even we notice it when it's 8 or 10 or 12%, So, yet yes, it's bad recently, but man, the dollar is always shrinking. 24/7, 365. The US dollar is always shrinking in terms of its purchasing power. So why do you want to go through this on this, oh, what do you call it, the thing, the hamster wheel of like having to go faster and faster and work harder and harder and more hours for the same like wealth, basically the same purchasing power, or actually purchasing power that's just getting less all the time, right?
Right. Right. Like the
So
housing market, like nobody my age can afford a house right now unless they just lucked out into, their parents' inheritance or some crazy rich
that's right.
job. It's like it's unrealistic.
That's right. Because the dollar is shrinking, but now a house is a hard asset.
Yeah, the value's always going to be the same, if not even more, right?
Sorta, yes. I mean, value is determined by, well, what are you measuring it against? And everything in our society, like every asset you can name pretty much, is measured against the US dollar, basically, right? So if something's going up in value, or if the dollar is shrinking in value, then something is going to require more US dollars to purchase it. Uh, so that's the landscape. That's the beautiful American, but it's not just American, man. It's like global.
Right.
Globally, all of the central banks, the Bank of Japan, the European Central Bank, the whatever the fuck they call it, the People's Bank of China,
Right.
um, which doesn't belong to the people. But anyway, all of the central banks around the world have been printing money, shrinking the value of their dollars, uh, which is to basically fund all their shit, while the people working hard for a living, their dollars are just shrinking. It's really just a way of stealing the wealth from the common people to be used by the people at the top. And then, by causing this inflation, um, they just ruin the economy long term, but they don't give a fuck. Like
Right,
each
because it's gonna
generation
be
of leaders.
it'll be someone else's problem. They'll kick the can down the road, and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, is there
So
any end in sight? Is there any solution, or is this just gonna
the
continue to happen
solution,
forever?
the solution, believe it or not, and it's hard to imagine it at a time like this, but the solution is Bitcoin. So,
Well, if Aaron Rodgers says it, I believe it.
okay. So stay with me. Okay, so for example, U.S. dollar or any fiat currency, you know, the government controls that shit, man. They can print less, they can print more, you know, they can raise or lower the value of your money that's in your pocket anytime they choose, and they can spend it on whatever the fuck they want. And so, um, you know, and they kind of control the stock market at this point as well, for the most part. Sometimes they lose control of it a little bit. Like right now, they're
Yeah, it's all
to
time low, right?
yes, well, not all time, but it's the S&P just entered bear market territory, like officially. Like once you come down 20% from your all-time high, your recent high, then it's considered bear market. And bear markets behave differently than bull markets in a lot of ways. So, but what was I?
Yeah, so you're saying that
Okay,
crypto's the way out of this.
yes, because with fiat currency, you know, governments can manipulate that shit, and you don't know what your $10 is going to be worth a month from now, or a year from now, or 10 years from now. You know, you're preparing for retirement, you know. And so, but with Bitcoin, it can't be inflated in that way because there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. So the only thing it's going to do is get more scarce, you know. So, and it's going to be even more scarce than gold or silver or these traditional things that people for 5,000 years, you know, when you wanted to preserve wealth in your family, you bought a beautiful gold necklace for your wife or something like that because it's gold. It's going to retain, and not only retain, it's going to gain in value. Uh, you know what I'm saying? So there are these traditional sort of assets that families bought to preserve generational wealth and even build generational wealth against this ever shrinking fiat currency that we all
Right,
use.
right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the salt trade back in the day, back in
Yeah.
the way day.
Yeah, or the nice silver or whatever. That's things that you get and it's going to kind of stay in the family. You know, the grandma is going to give that to her granddaughter when she gets married. You know, this kind of shit. And so um so Bitcoin is the new version of that, basically.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as far as if anyone is afraid of cryptocurrency or doesn't understand it, whatever, I'm going to be honest. It takes about a year of like watching videos, reading articles, learning about it, talking to people about it. I mean, if you get interested in it and you want to learn exactly what it is and how it works, it's going to take a year. That doesn't mean you have to wait a year to buy some. I mean, hell, just put $100 into it and just
Right.
let it sit, you know. It's easy to buy now. I mean, they've got apps, you know, FTX or Coinbase or, you know, I work with Coinbase. It's totally reputable. You know, I pay taxes on it. They, you know, all you got to do is download a form and just plug that into your TurboTax. It's easy. There's nothing to it. Uh, you know, Bitcoin is the safest crypto. You know, if you're afraid, like I don't know what Cardano is, and I don't know, should I get the Shiba? You know, no, fuck that shit. Just pick up a little Bitcoin. You know,
Yeah.
and Bitcoin's kind of a gateway crypto, if you will. It's the OG. It's the big daddy. It's the quote safe crypto.
Right, but
Um,
you're all in on Ethereum, which is
I
the
love
one
Ethereum.
that
Yeah,
crashed like the hardest recently.
yeah. Ethereum got hit hard, and I bought some today
So did
at
I. So did
at
I.
at basement fucking prices. The
Right.
thing now, as an investment, now that's what I've been talking about is Bitcoin as a store of wealth. You know, just put your money in it. You know, if you put $100 into Bitcoin now, just forget about it. 5 years from now, I mean, I don't know what it's going to be, but it ain't going to be $100. It's going to be a thousand, maybe more. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So because Bitcoin does take some time to get going on a bull run. I mean, once you enter a bear market, it takes a little time. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a
But
slow burn, but it's worth the wait.
yes, I mean, and that's viewing Bitcoin as a store of wealth. Okay. Now, viewing Bitcoin as an investment vehicle is kind of a different thing, and kind of different. It's kind of the same, but kind of different. And so, you know, the thing about Bitcoin is it's volatile. It is a volatile bitch. Okay. It's unpredictable in the short term. Um, I mean, it can be going nice, going well. It moves up $5,000 a coin in a week, and you suddenly thinking, okay, shit's getting going here. So you put $10,000 on it, and as soon as you click the button, boom, it turns around and goes straight down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's completely volatile. Okay. But the volatility is what makes it the most beautiful investment vehicle in the history of mankind. And if you can, buying low and selling high is a lot harder than it sounds. And to buy low goes against every bit of your natural human instinct. It
Right.
goes
Because
against your survival instinct,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who wants to buy some? Last November, Bitcoin was 70,000 a coin, right? And people, myself, a lot of people, we were wrong and we thought the bull market was going to keep going, but it was 70,000. And then now I mean, the last I checked, it's getting kind of close to 20,000 now. So I don't even know what percentage. That's like a 70% drop,
Yeah.
75.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
That's a huge drop from the top. In previous crypto winters, the drop was like 90%, then it was 85%, then the last one was 83%, I think. So as more money gets invested in Bitcoin overall, the bigger something gets, the harder it is to move, the less it moves, basically, the less volatile it becomes. It's like trying to change course of a huge ship, right? You know, a,
Okay. Answer
a
me
little
this.
speedboat you can turn on a dime, but a big like the Titanic,
Yeah. It takes
it
like
takes a long time to
two
turn.
hours. Yeah.
So
Okay.
as Bitcoin gets bigger, you could sort of imagine it as being a bigger and bigger ship, right? So it's going to become less volatile as the years go by, but right now it's still the most volatile asset on the planet. The only thing more volatile is the smaller coins like Ethereum or whatever. So if you can buy Bitcoin at the bottom and sell it at the top, you're retired. Like that's it,
Right.
right? But nobody can do that, or I should say, very few. Basically, nobody can do that. I
Or
mean,
it's hard to pull the trigger because you think, oh, it could go up a little bit more, a little bit more. People get greedy.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or you hesitate to buy it because you think, well, it could go down a little more,
Right.
and then all of a sudden it shoots up 20%. The bear market is over, and you kind of missed out on a lot of profit. I mean, it's not, you know. So, so the way you do it is, and this is not like some trick that I know. Like it's just very basic. You do this if you're investing in Apple or Microsoft or any asset. It's just very basic investment strategy. You average in when it goes down, and you average out when it goes up.
Right.
So, and so, like if Bitcoin goes up, suppose we get out of this, we get into a bull market, suppose I get back in the green, and suppose I get up 50%. Okay. I'm going to sell like a little bit. Maybe I'll
Right.
sell 100 or 500, or just, I'm going to sell just a little sliver, right? Lock in a little bit of profit.
Just to keep yourself kind of even.
Well, first of all, to get a little gunpowder on the side,
Right.
which I'm just going to let that cash sit there. Maybe I'll play with a little bit, do a little short term investing to just grow the gunpowder a little bit. I don't know. But, then if Bitcoin keeps going up, if you get up 100% in the green, then sell a little more, maybe even a little bit more than you sold the first time. Maybe sell 1,000 worth. Go ahead, lock in that profit. Maybe take half of it. You know, uh, buy your lady I don't know, a dress or something.
Let's keep it at a thong. All right.
Okay. So then, damn, you stingy, bruh. Okay. So then, if it goes up 150%, you see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
You sell into the strength, and then when it goes down, like right now, tonight, you know, you buy a little, you buy into the weakness, you sell into the strength. And so what happens is you find that, when you're selling and Bitcoin is like 70,000 per coin, you're not having to sell much to get some good money at the top, right?
Right. And then
and
it's not
and then
such
at
a
the bottom, you're picking up buku shares or buku coins for only a little bit of money. And so what
right.
happens is, over the course of your life, your position just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
So you're just riding this wave, and ultimately you're never gonna wipe out, right?
No, I mean, you're never going to stop riding the wave. I mean, you just, buy a little when it goes low, sell a little when it goes high. And that's a conservative kind of approach that will just kind of keep your position in that asset. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin, but that's just a very basic, it's called a DCA, dollar cost averaging. You know, just sell a little when it's high, buy a little when it's low. But the thing that makes it beautiful about Bitcoin is that the shit is volatile, man. I mean, when it goes low, when Bitcoin decides to go low, it rips your fucking heart out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it makes you say things like, "What the fuck am I doing with my life?" Know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It, you know, it makes you choke on your own vomit. It goes so low. But man, when it gets into that bull run, and it happens, once every 3 or 4 years. It's like a cycle. The last bull run. Well, we just finished the last bull run, which ended in November. Um, a lot of people didn't think that it was the end of that bull run, but it was, and it took some people like myself. I'm not ashamed because I'm not alone in this. A whole lot of people felt like the bull market was not over, but after a couple months of going down and some nasty drops, I figured out a couple months ago that, what, you know, Bitcoin is not just taking a breather in the bull market. The bull market is over, and we're entering like a hardcore, crypto bear market. It just is what it is. And it's probably
You just
not
have
to
to
say,
withstand it.
yeah, you just gotta weather it. Accumulate if you are of that mind. If you're inclined. I am. I believe in the asset. Man, do I believe in the asset. I believe in it more than like a lot of assets that people think are rock fucking solid, you know, like Apple or Google or, I believe in those assets. I think those assets are going to do just fine, big tech, in the long run. We just got to get through this FUD, man. It's, you know, but Bitcoin, man, it is still the most volatile thing out there. And, that's what makes it the volatility, both good and bad, up and down. is what makes it a really awesome um, investment vehicle. If you got the proper mindset, if you're ready for it, if you're ready for the downs, man, let me put it to you this way. I've got a million adages, right? One of them is buy low, sell high, which is it's so fucking hard to do that in truth. But the other one is uh, and I forgot what the other one was.
Well, that's
But
the one that's probably the most important. And you forgot it. God damn it.
it is important. It's super important. Uh, well, one adage is, you never lose unless you sell.
Right, right.
You know, um, that's I must admit I have done it. I did it. Let me see. Well, I mean, I did that. I bought an asset, it went down, and I sold it at a loss. I did that a few times with sort of minor positions, like just nothing, not risking too much, But I did it once with a major position, and I held that shit for, I don't know, more than a year, And I bought, it was a bit of a position for me at that time, and meaning the amount of money I put into it, represented a considerable portion of this one account. And the shit went down and down and down. Then it started going up, and market conditions finally got into this place that I knew they were going to get into that would make this asset go up. This asset started going up. It went up. It went up. It got back to even for me. And man, I'm telling you, it was barely in the green. I might have been like $1 or $2 up. Okay. That was my opportunity to say, you know what? Let me just cut this, get out, and call it even, literally.
Right, right.
But I stayed in, I held on. I thought, you know what? It's going to go higher. I know it's going to go higher. It turned around right there, went down forever. You know what I mean?
That was the gods telling you, John Ace, it's time.
Yeah,
Sell,
they're
sell.
like, God damn, we did it for you, man. We gave you the chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, but that happened to me once on a major position. But I mean, I've had a lot of winners. You get a few winners, it makes up and then some for the losers. I mean, if you do it right, um,
Well, look, I mean,
So
this is really because okay, so I can only speak from the standpoint of sports gambling, which is now legal in Louisiana. And I've done really well on doing little tiny bets, but like it's like taking a little tiny bite of the apple. Blah blah, blah. Just like throwing as many darts as you can at the dartboard. Like 50 cents here, 75 cents here, but I do the parlays where you pick like 12 teams to win and the odds are like 30,000, to win.
okay, I'm with you.
And so I do that every day when I wake up. I just pick like 7 different combinations of Major League Baseball games, a soccer game, a WNBA game. And if one of them hits, I bet 50 cents on it to win $47. Or
Yeah,
like during March Madness, my favorite one, I bet 50 cents for $68. But there's some combinations where you can put, a 12 team parlay and you literally put in 11 cents and the payout is $3,000. And
wow.
it's like, why not just throw 11 cents away every day and maybe one of those days everything will hit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a lottery ticket, but it's better chances of winning, but you don't
Right.
win as much.
Right, but
but it's
I'm
much
okay.
cheaper than a lottery ticket.
Exactly. A lot of tickets like fucking $5. Like I'm not paying $5 for to bet on the Indiana Fever WNBA team. Like I'm sorry. Like
Right.
that's but if I just wake up and I'm just like barely awake and I just open the app and I'm like da 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 and I just pick and then you can pick how much you want to win. So you don't even have to put in your wager. You just pick like, I want to win like $10 off of this. And then it'll
Huh.
show you how much you have to put up. And sometimes it's 7 cents. Sometimes it's 13 cents. And it's just like, why not? Like crazier things have happened. So lately, I've been doing that and I've gotten myself like free meals off of that shit. Just like purely luck, purely, and I can't wait till the NFL season, John Ace, because I know my football. I'm just fucking around with all this NBA and Major League Baseball and English Premier League soccer. I don't know that shit. I know NFL. So I'm about to become a goddamn millionaire come NFL season, which is I think 89 days away. Woo!
Yeah. Well, what I'll say about that, gambling is your game. It's not mine. I did a little bit in the past and kind of did okay, but it's not my game. Like I don't think I'm good at it. I don't. It's just not my game, right?
Right.
But like I've got another buddy that bets on UFC stuff,
Ooh,
and
that's tough because you got
you know,
judges.
yeah. Well, yes, and you've got things like
Also,
I
you
guess
got
you have this
referees too.
referees, and then also you've got these lucky punches.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's told me about these just crazy one-off, like everybody expects this one dude to win, but then like this crazy fucking situation, like a completely unpredictable situation, like some dude will get a lucky punch, or a guy will get injured, like turn his ankle or something
Yeah,
during the
yeah. He
match, and
he
then
breaks his leg during the match, and he's still trying to fight on.
right. So stuff like that will, my buddy told me, will kind of fuck up his bets. So,
Yeah.
but I just don't. It's just not my thing. Like with investing, you could buy an asset, and then that asset can go down in value. Um, but you still got the asset, and you still got the chance that that asset will go back up.
Right.
You know.
Well, here's
Um,
one thing which I love about this app. So let's say I do an 8 game parlay, okay? And it's, I bet like 150. Like I would say $3 is the most I would ever put up on something. And that's if I really feel strongly about it. But let's say like I put up 150 on a 6 game parlay and then I hit on 4 of them and 2 of them are still in action, you can cash out. So it gives you the option to like, all right, you can triple your money right now, or you can quadruple your money if you want to hang around for these last 2 games. So it gives you a little bit of juice when it comes to like, whoa, shit, I didn't even expect to get this far. I've already doubled my money, tripled my money. I'll cash out right now, and you know,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
that's
but look at the profit margin of like DraftKings.
right, right.
You know what I'm saying? And I have not. I mean, uh, in fact, I think it's investable. Like I think it's publicly traded. I could be wrong. At least one of those. Well, anyway, but they're making a lot of money. I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. They're making a whole lot of buku fucking money.
Oh yeah.
So from people losing, you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the best part of it. You can look at how much you've put in and how much you've lost or gained. And so right now, my net negative, let's see. My deposit withdrawal. I am down $10. But if the Celtics win in seven or the Warriors win in seven, I'm already either at even or plus 10. And so at
Well,
that
good
point,
luck, my brother.
I know after tonight's game, yeah.
No, what happened? I didn't see the end of the game. I wasn't paying
Oh,
attention.
the Warriors ended up blowing them out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was only by 10. So, you know.
Yeah, I expected that. I was surprised Boston was with them like at the
Oh,
end of the third.
Tatum just started shooting air balls. I think he's
Huh.
hurt. I think he's either hurt or like Draymond Green got in his head at one point. I don't know. But
Huh.
I hate them. I wish ill upon them unless they win in 7 games.
So, uh, okay, so that's did you want to talk about something besides like crypto and gambling? You
No,
want
I
to
just
talk some
you know
Packers or Saints, Pelicans or
no
Pacers
no
or
no no we gotta prepare for that. I wanna come in hitting hard. I just had band practice. I'm
Gotcha,
starving,
gotcha. Okay. Okay,
but
well that's cool. We can
I
talk
needed
about
a
whatever you want.
I needed a breakdown on the crypto thing because it's just been blowing up my Instagram feed, and I figured now would be the best time to really get some straight dope on the situation.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Well, I'll
saying?
give you another adage. Uh, buy when there's blood in the streets.
Oh,
Period.
I
I
like it.
mean, that's when you buy. If you believe in the asset and make sure you believe in it, uh, you buy when there's blood in the streets, when there's nobody left but the diehards. Wall Street is out. You know, um, what's his name? Warren Buffett is saying, crypto is useless. It's all going to go to zero. Uh, you know, J.P. Morgan says, uh, Bitcoin is not backed by anything. It's useless.
Right, it's a
It's
hoax.
just,
It's
I could go on and on, man. There are
right.
plenty of, detractors. And when all of those people are saying, yeah, I told you so, um, retail investors are out of it, don't want to hear anything about it. Wall Street doesn't want anything to do with it. That's when you fucking buy,
I love
you
it.
know.
And that's what I did
Um,
this morning. I fucking woke up this morning and I bought $9 worth. So let's roll the damn dice and let's get fucking wild, baby.
yeah, man. But for crypto, it's gonna take a little time, man. Once it's like fully commits to a bear market, man, and it has. I mean, we are 100% in a bear market. It takes time to dig out of it. I mean, it really does. And I think over the coming months, there's going to be, there will be some ups and some downs. There will be some ups that kind of make you think, oh shit, here we go, it's taken off, and then followed by just straight down again. It'll be really choppy waters for a while. People deciding, am I in, am I out? Um, some people will have to get burned on the little dead cat bounces, they call them.
Yep.
And it'll just be topsy turvy for a while. And there's this thing in Bitcoin called the halving. Have you ever heard of that?
No, what is that?
Okay. Bitcoin goes through these things called halvings, and it has to do with Bitcoin miners. And so basically, it goes to this. Basically, the halvings occur roughly around every 4 years. The halvings occur between the peaks in the cycle.
Right.
Okay. So, the parabolic rallies, the hardcore bull runs that Bitcoin goes through usually occur a little bit after the halvings, like maybe, in the next year or so after the halvings, maybe a year, maybe some months. but after the halvings. Okay. Um, and the next halving for Bitcoin, it takes a while to explain exactly what a halving is, but um, the next halving for Bitcoin is like early 2024, I think.
Okay.
So it's looking like maybe after that, like sometime during 2024, I'm thinking maybe quarter two, maybe quarter three of that year, might be the next like hardcore Bitcoin rally where like Bitcoin like really kind of tries to get to the next level, you know.
Right.
Um,
Well, I
and the
know
next,
some NFL players have gotten their contracts in Bitcoin, and
yeah, man, some mayors of
yeah,
cities too, and
yeah,
some governments, you
yeah.
know, like Brazil just decided, you know what, we're going to keep Bitcoin on our balance sheet, you
Just
know.
keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
El Salvador,
Oh
you know
shit.
about them?
Oh, I know a few things. I'm half El
Okay,
Salvadorian.
yeah, man, El Salvador, it's legal currency there now. So your
Ah,
original question about when will I be able to, you can go to El Salvador right now and use Bitcoin as currency everywhere. You know
damn
what I
right.
mean? So, and El Salvador, man, mark my words, El Salvador is going to become the, I think they will become the most affluent country in Central America.
Because of that.
Yeah, and they might already be. Honestly, I don't know. You know, I mean, before the Bitcoin thing, I don't know much about Central America, honestly. I know there's some problems with violence and
Yeah,
some
there's a few weapons
like
being strewn.
Colombia,
Yeah.
Guatemala. I know it's people are fleeing those countries. You know, I wish I should know more about it. I don't, but and I don't know where El Salvador fits in that landscape.
Right.
You know,
But yeah,
but
I do remember seeing something about how they're fully embracing it.
yeah, yeah, it's legal currency there now. They're trying to attract miners from around the world. You know what? They got this plan. They're going to build, what is it? It's something like Bitcoin Mountain or something like that. Like they've got a volcano that's like kind of active. This is for real. I'm not making this up. They're going to use the energy from this volcano to power Bitcoin miners. You know how one complaint about Bitcoin is that it uses too much electricity to mine it? You know about that? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
environmentalists are all uptight about it. Um, and I get that, but so they're going to use the energy from this volcano to like give free energy to like Bitcoin miners that want to come there and mine their Bitcoin. It's
Oh,
freaking
holy
genius, in
shit.
my opinion. You know what I mean? So it's going to
I
be green and oh man, it's just genius, man. And I think this man is just slick and sharp. I think of this leader of El Salvador. I can't remember his name, but he's like going to like crypto conventions and whatnot. Like, I mean, he's 100% gung ho about it.
right.
And others will follow. In fact, El Salvador held their own crypto conference um, earlier this year, and like 40 other like financial people from 40 other nations showed up. I mean,
Damn.
people that have official positions like treasury people, whatever, with their governments. Like basically 40 different governments sent someone. Go check that out. See what's up with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Get
know what
some
I mean?
intel. Yeah.
Yeah. So things are happening. Um, I believe in it. But I think anyone should believe in what they're investing in. And I think people should understand what they're investing in. And so, if you know nothing about cryptocurrencies and you want to get into it, just be prepared. It's going to take about a year. It really does to like just fully, and one day it just clicks
Right.
and you understand, you know, but it'll
Well,
take about a year.
just tell me when to sell and tell me when to buy, but um, I have faith. I have faith in
Oh,
it.
and let me mention one other thing. I know you want to get out of here, but
No,
just
I
one
just
more thing I want to mention is that, when you know something that could make people money, or at least you feel like you do, like I do with Bitcoin, you want to communicate that to the people you love, you know. Um, but the thing with Bitcoin, because it's so freaking volatile, as soon as you recommend, like, hey, now's a good, it's a good idea to just buy some Bitcoin, and get in the game. That's when it goes down.
right, and
You
then
know, you
you
know what I
like,
mean?
yeah, you then
You
everybody's like,
know,
I don't know, he's kind of
yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
and
he doesn't
then
know what the fuck he's talking about.
yeah,
So even though I know, it has ups and downs, and it goes through cycles, and I kind of feel like I know what's going to happen in the long term. Bitcoin is actually quite predictable in the long term, but not in the short term.
right,
I mean, in the long term, the shit just goes up, and it picks its own times, like when to do it, and it's right at the moment that you give up and you feel like, man, this shit's just not gonna move. Boom, that's when it happens.
right.
So that's what makes it tough for
It's
me.
for
Like,
it's for the loyalists.
yeah, sort of. I mean, you just gotta,
Set it
man, you
and
gotta
forget
have
it.
the right, gotta have the right mindset for it. You know.
Oh yeah.
So
Eh,
yeah, that's where it's at, and that's why I've kind of. I mean, to me, like right now, I mean, it's just right now is the time to buy, man. It's around 20,000. But I would like to tell that to people I love. I want to help everybody get over on the fucking man that's screwing us all over. You know what I'm saying? With this
right.
US dollar inflation bullshit. I want to help all the people I love to get fucking free and independent of the man, the way that I want to be.
Yep.
But at some point, it might go lower than 20,000, man. It might go down to 15,000 next week. You know what I'm saying? So it just makes it, the volatility of it makes one hesitant
Yeah,
to uh
it's a hard
to spread the
sell.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you can make yourself look like a fool. You can, you know, make people, you can feel like nobody trusts you anymore. You know what I mean? So it's a tough, you know, the it is. It's a tough thing to suggest to people. So that's why I always say, I always put the disclaimer out there. Man, even dealing with like people that I know really well, like I think with Miguel one time I said, this is not investment advice, but or you know, it could go lower, but you might want to think about like whatever. Like I say things in a certain way because I don't want to. I don't know. You don't want to be blamed. You know.
Right, right. Well,
You know
that
what I
that
mean?
was that was always your disclaimers. Don't put in more than you can. Like always,
Yes.
yeah. And so, yeah, like if I have like a few extra dollars to throw around, and if I'm already gonna gamble on a fucking Yankees game that I know nothing about, why not throw a little bit in the Bitcoin direction? So it's as long as you're not putting your whole paycheck behind it and waiting for a pure uh comeback within a week, just set it and forget it.
That's it. That's it. And I always try to make people understand that. Make sure that people understand that before they get in. But having said all that, if it's me and I've never invested in Bitcoin. I'm going to grab $100 and let it ride and just see
Right.
what happens. Maybe if it goes down a little bit, I'll buy a little more. Maybe if it goes up, maybe I'll sell a little bit.
Right.
And, I don't know, jump on the train,
Well,
and
speaking of, can you plug your YouTube channel? Because I want anybody listening to go check out your intricate model train. Not even just the train, but like the landscapes you create and the detail that you put into it is truly amazing. And I want
I
everybody to see it.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. Okay, the channel is Mystic Southern Railway. Check it out. It's basically about trains, but what I really try to do is make a little short film, like once every couple months. So it's like a little short film about trains and kind of about just interesting sights in New Orleans. Um, like a little 7, 8, 9 minute movie is what I'm
Yeah.
going for. So yeah, that's what I do. So whoever's listening, check it out if you want. And it's Mystic Southern Railway on YouTube.
Yes, sir. And I'll put the link. And it's nice catching up, man. Next time we have you on, we're gonna do only sports. Okay? So
Sounds good.
get your homework done. And I mean, there's a lot to catch up on with your Saints, my Packers, the Pelicans, the Pacers, and however this NBA Finals shakes out.
Yeah, and they're all looking good. Although I don't really know about the Pacers. I
Yep.
haven't really been keeping up with them, but I mean, Packers, Saints, Pelicans are all kind of looking up.
Yep. We're on the opposite of Ethereum for now,
That means looking good.
I guess. John Ace,
J-La.
we out.
Peace. Oh man, that felt kind of good.